Coming up next on YoTV, we have Beat Streets and an art exhibit, so stick around.
Oh boy, yeah, we YoTV, we back here.
Youth culture, youth voices, youth power, coming at you.
What's happening, we YoTV out here?
Before we go any further, I have to big up the magazine. Now look at
Youth Outlook, chronicle of young people's lives in the Bay Area.
known all over the Bay and beyond.
Got a lot of good stuff for you this time.
Yo! What's going on, people? I, of course, am Donnie.
Hey, I'm Jasmine A.
Yes, and we're out here on Treasure Island. You can see the beautiful San Francisco skyline behind us. It's the second day of spring.
And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. And as you know, Youth Outlook, we focus on youth culture in the Bay Area. And right now we're going to take you to the Tenderloin to go visit an art exhibit from our friend, Josue, who's part of the YoTV family.
Yes.
And Donnie's going to tell you a little more about it.
20 Go to 10 studio in the Tenderloin. He has some of his art up, some of his videos up, some of his pictures up. It's called
Los Disappeared.
Los Disappeared, so check it out right now on YoTV.
So basically, every single one of these paintings has it's got a story, and that's the only reason really why I even bother doing a show, because I really believe in these guys. I really believe in their story, and it's also it's my history. It's the history of my country. I could easily be any of these guys. So this guy right here, you know, he was deported. He grew up in foster care. Didn't know that he was even a Salvadorian until he got deported, and you know, he makes his living now doing tattoo art. So this is Alex Cornejo, and he's the owner of Taboo Tattoo. This guy right here, his name is Fugitivo, which is Spanish for fugitive. And basically, you know, where the other guys bring kind of a California flavor, this dude's bringing kind of a Bronx, New York flavor to Central America. So all the deportees, they bring their subcultures with them. So this guy, he's happening to bring in some reggaeton, papi chulo type, you know, Daddy Yankee flavor to El Salvador. So he's also, he's kind of a ladies' man. He's kind of a really comical guy, but he's also kind of a tragic guy. So if you watch the video, he talks about everything, you know, his life and what brought him to where he's at. This is Glenda. Glenda is a mother of 5, and she basically, when she got deported, her kids were left motherless. So I will speak of the symbolism on this one. The children's faces are blurry because her perception of her kids and her kids' perception of her will be blurry because of the way that they're not close up together. They haven't grown up with their mother. And I mean, whatever the crime was, it's really horrible to be tearing up families. And my heart really goes out to her, but I also feel that she's a happy and joyful person. This guy right here is a participator of, you know, LA gang culture. You see, he got an 18 on his arms and face, but there is no 18th Street in El Salvador. So, you know, even the street gangs have been deported. So I wanted to talk about that. And I also want to talk about how, you know, there's these laws, hard hand tactics that go on and are set out to crush and destroy young people who are participating in gangs or even just look like they are. So I just think it's unfair. I think it's terribly unfair what's happening, and it's a story of my generation. So I really feel the conviction about it, you know? This is just a self-portrait, and it's basically just me as the traveling artist.
Sweet. So you'll always be in there now.
Thank you.
Let me take a picture.
Hey, Walter, she helped keep me in school, bro, in high school. She kind of put me onto in journalism as an idea.
Oh, it's your fault.
I'm trying to raise money for a project called the Ceiba Americas Project, and what that entails is just creating art as violence prevention. Like, it's been working here in Oakland. I've been doing it in Oakland, and it's functional. And I think it can help with a little bit of enthusiasm and a little bit of just art hunger, which exists already in Central America. It can work in Central America, and it has worked. So I just got back from a trip in October where we created a very large mural at the site of a massacre with young, at-risk youth. Yeah, there's photos of it right here. It's all about bringing art to the kids that really kind of don't have it, you know. talking about art on walls, murals, art, painting. So if you look here, the kid's wearing a hat that Estria drew on. We got him working with the can. It's the first time he worked on a can, and he was instantly addicted, the same way I was. So I just want to show that people try to make these folks look like monsters. I want them to people look at them and see that they're artists. This guy, he works on these all day, and he has his girlfriend sell them in the streets because he can't come out with his face all tattooed like that. He'll get killed. This guy right here is explaining his symbolism, his art. It's all California stuff. And I want to talk about why is California art showing up in El Salvador. Because it was deported. That's why. So it's a little bit of everything here. A little bit of everything. I think it defies death. Regardless of whether I do it, regardless of who does it, I think art and creativity defy destruction and death. And I think in places like Central America, places like Haiti, places in Africa, places in the Philippines, Southeast Asia, this is not just a Salvadorian thing. This is it's happening across the board to a lot of different immigrant groups. And I think regular people have the strength to get up and do something about it. So I think if you can, whatever medium you have, you should do something about it. And I'm not coming from a place where, I'm nagging anybody. I'm coming from a place where I think it could just happen, So I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful to the gallery, 20 Go to 10. And I'm glad my mom's here. I'm glad yotv is here. I'm glad we have pupusas. We got pupusas here for everybody, so salud.
We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. While we do that, you visit Yo Blogger on YouTube. YoTV caught up with Beat Streets.
Who is Beat Streets? He's a producer from Oakland, and he does remixes to popular songs, just like I'm doing a remix of my voice. Chicka, chicka, chicka. Bam. He has a show on youth radio. He's young, he's talented, and we're gonna show him to you. Take it away, Beat Streets.
A lot of people that aren't from the Bay Area just think that Bay Area is just hyphy and stuff, and that isn't me at all. I am classically trained, as you probably would say, in jazz. I bring something different to the table. I do these remixes of popular songs and not popular songs because I want people to recognize me as a producer and that I can provide a different type of feel to stuff that's out.
I'm feeling yummy head to toe. You see me, ain't got no patience, so let's go. You see me, look, I'm diet drama. Wanna spend the night, don't bring pajamas. Man, there's so much heat beneath these clothes. You see me, walk in the place. They know my face.
The original was a cool, percussion beat, but I wanted to put in I wanted women. I always picture what people would do to my beats if they were played in a club, and what I wanted to do was get women to rock their hips. Unofficial remixes I've done so far is I just finished Kenna Say Goodbye to Love remix. I met DJ Rashida recently. Yeah, she DJ for Prince one time, couple times. But she came in and I played that for her. She's like, I gotta have that. Please give that to me because I want to play this. You can check, my synced version of my remix to the video on Current TV.
What are you using? What is all this stuff back here that you've got going on?
Let's see. Here, what I use this program called A Reason. It's the top program software to use if you're being a producer. In my eyes, it's better than Fruity Loops. Of course, it's better than GarageBand. Who uses GarageBand? This right here is an Axiom 25 MIDI keyboard. You have your modulator, you got your pitch bend, you got your pads for your drums if you want to do that. Just the regular. It's got all the regular MIDI keyboard operations on there. I'm working on a song with Picasso from the Living Legends. What I like to do is I like to just think of all the melodies I can put in a song first, then I'll put the drums. Just check it out right quick. I'll go step by step of what I did. You know, I started off with that, and then, you know, I'll bring in like some type of synthy sound, you know, because this right here already has a groove. Like, you can already pick up, like, okay, it's up tempo. I might like do this when I hear it, but let's just see, you know, what people do if I like put another element in it, you know, something like, it still got that little groove. It's got you like, I don't know how to explain it. And there you have it. You can download this show and all my past ones. So hit me up. All right then, Lightning Super Jazz Show. Peace.
We're at this gas station that's been abandoned. I'm gonna go try to find gas. And while I do that, I want you to go to newamericamedia.org, where we have articles, stories, everything we have here, we have it there, but it's a website. Go there. Peace.
YOTV still here at Treasure Island. I'm Ming, and up next for you, we're going to take you to SF State, where they had a big convention of high schoolers and from all over the nation talking about global issues like dirty water, meth addiction, and women of war. So check it out on YOTV.
World Savvy, basically what they do is they take really like big and obscure international issues, and they don't dumb them down, but they kind of make them more relatable to young people, because they're the next generation and they need to know what's going on so they can come up with solutions. This conference specifically is every year they choose a topic, and then middle school and high school students from all over Northern California will come together for a presentation and kind of put out there what they think this topic means, regardless of what it is, like through presentation or their creative works.
My name is Kalpana Mistry, and I'm a global studies teacher at Berkeley International High School, and we're a brand new program, so we just opened up. And actually this project worked out really well, because in our geography class we talk a lot about the world's issues and a lot of the problems, and students really get this this message like that the world's just not a very happy place and that everything's going wrong. And what's really cool about this project is that it asks students to come up with solutions as well. So we're not just looking at HIV, but we're looking at ways to solve HIV. And we're not just looking at like desertification in sub-Saharan Africa and how the land is drying out, but we're looking at ways to solve that and how to address that. And they come up with solutions on the local and the global level.
War affects societies on multiple levels, and we are focusing on how it affects women worldwide.
And it's basically a cumulative, like, everybody coming together, thinking and talking about the same topic, relating to one another.
No, I don't think a lot of people, I think a lot of people know about it, have a sense of what's going on, but they don't really know what's really happening.
They're, with FGM or female genital mutilation, they are, the parents, they're using these, these tools that haven't been cleaned, and it just increases the risk of HIV, AIDS. This isn't a traditional topic of global health, so I didn't think it was that much of a big deal before.
This conference definitely proves that young people aren't as misinformed as they are, and they're not as stupid as people think they are. And then it's actually, if you take the time, and if they actually take the time to learn about it, they can actually comprehend it. It's not like their brain can't accept it. It's they have to be given the chance and the level of respect to be able to go out and do it. And if you constantly demean them, then they're not going to learn and they're not going to go out there. But obviously they can.
So you may remember our next story from around Halloween, when two young men from Alameda were racially profiled when arrested for the murder of 15-year-old Iko Bayarsakan. So we caught up with some of the family members and people in the community who were really upset by this case of racial profiling. So let's see. The murder of Iko Bayarsakan on Halloween launched an all-out investigation by the Alameda Police Department. 8 youth were detained.
2 Southeast Asian boys were charged with the murder and their names were leaked by the media. The boys were later released. Community members felt the police tactics are considered racial profiling. They felt youth from the Southeast Asian community were wrongfully arrested based on false notions of gang affiliation. We spoke to the cousin and sister of one of the boys arrested. His cousin serves as the liaison for the family. His sister was also detained with him the day the police raided their home.
The day of the arrest, my cousin was detained along with his siblings and taken in by the Alameda Police Department. They served a search warrant and an arrest warrant, and he was detained and arraigned and booked with the murder of Iko.
It was like any other morning. I got up around 7:30 a.m. and my brother's friend came over. He lived around the neighborhood because he gets carpool to school. Then I took my 3 brothers and his friend to school, and as I was backing out the driveway, there was a squad car behind us. At first we didn't know they were directing at us, so I was still trying to get out of my driveway, but they blocked it, and then later on they kept yelling at us, and there's a canine, and they had their guns pointed at us, so that's when I knew they were aiming at us. I was terrified because I didn't know what was going on, and I just kept asking them what's going on, and they didn't tell me anything, and they just took us out and handcuffed us. When we were handcuffed, I felt really humiliated because we were outside on the streets, and then my neighbors were passing by. When I called my father already found out from the neighbors, because our neighbors had to call my parents because the police didn't call my parents. Well, when I watched the news later on that day, I saw a news reporter asking my neighbors what had they seen early in the morning, and then a couple of them were like, "Oh yeah, we assumed it probably had something to do with the murder." So, of course, it gave a bad rep to my family. During the week where everything happened, things, home just didn't feel like home anymore. And I could tell that my youngest brother, he was really shooken up by the whole thing because, for a couple of days he didn't want to sleep home because my other brother wasn't home, and then our house was a mess and everything just didn't feel right.
My cousin is a very well-respected and loved young man by his family and his community. He has been involved with APAL, that is an organization in Oakland that works with Asian Pacific Islander youth to promote advocacy and leadership. Along with that, he's also worked with Lao Family Community Development Center. He's very much a leader, and he takes charge of situations. Although this incident has happened to him, he hasn't used it or reacted negatively to it. He's actually working with APAL and being productive and proactive about what positive actions to take next.
Our organization is here today because the Alameda Police Department has terrorized the Southeast Asian community. They cast a wide net over the whole community, and our youth members have been accused of being in gangs, falsely accused, based on a MySpace photo at an anti-war demonstration where our youth were holding up peace signs. The police, based on the way that our youth were dressed and based on the fact that they were holding up peace signs, accused them of being in a gang. And we want the Alameda Police Department to conduct a real investigation that's not based on stereotypes.
In regards to the accusation made against my younger cousin, we want the public to fully understand that neither he nor the other young man arrested was ever involved in any way with the heinous crimes or its culprits. This given, my cousin's innocence has not been adequately or fairly portrayed. So I would like to emphasize myself again and clearly state, never was he involved or affiliated with this murder or the person that committed it.
The high-profile case brought much unwanted attention, which impacted the entire Seychow family.
Their dad lost a week of pay. I lost a week of pay. The students, for the safety of his brothers, they were also pulled out of school for a week, so they lost time at school.
I was just focusing on school because I'm a full-time student, and since my mother's lost her job now, I'm probably going to go look for a job myself to support me and my brothers as well.
The police misconduct we have issue with is the racial profiling. What we do want from the police is an independent investigation into how the Alameda Police Department conducted their investigation of this murder.
Lieutenant Art Fuentes of the Alameda Police Department denies that the gang members were identified based on peace signs in a MySpace photo. He asserts proper procedure was conducted. APAL and the Alameda Police Department have been meeting, and they are currently still in the process of reaching a resolution.
We started our trek on Treasure Island on the other side, where you can see the beautiful view of San Francisco. On this side, you can see the beautiful view of Berkeley, Emeryville, and a little bit of Oakland, but we have to leave you guys.
We're kind of sad, but we had fun with you here today.
We did.
I had fun.
I did have a good time.
You had fun. You look like you had fun.
You had a good time.
Now it's time for you to kick rocks.
Sorry.
We're throwing rocks at the water, skipping them actually.
Yes.
But before we go, please check us out. Where?
Yo Blogger, youthoutlook.org and newamericanmedia.org. See you guys next week.
Bye. I know about this bloody guy.
You
He
do?
went to Beckley High with me.
All right, so
Streets.
I'm just gonna.
He has a show on Youth Radio.
I'm not gonna speak then. I'm just
No,
gonna leave it.
I want you. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you recording?